Is the market going to crash? Are homeowners going to lose all their value? Oh my gosh, are interest rates going to keep climbing? Answers to most of those questions, at least as best we can answer them, right here. Stay tuned, and we are going to jump right on those. This is Rhonda with the Rhonda Everett Group at Kobe and Shepherd Realtors, and today is our March market update. So, what happened last month? Well, we actually sold 1,500 houses. I can't believe it. There were actually 1,500 to sell, which is very exciting, and that was actually up 48% from the prior month. So our lowest price property was $39,500. It was a 3-bedroom home in Salem Township, which we've not really discussed before. It's part of Little Miami School District. And that home had 1,200 square feet, nothing super special, but again, kind of in an area that people are looking for. So $39,500 for something that had what looked to be mold. I have to be a little careful with the M word. It needed either knocked down or totally renovated. It was pretty rough. So this house was listed for $38,000, was on the market for 92 days, and it was a lender-owned property that, I know we've talked before about having those kind of online auctions. So it was Hubsy.com, and it ended up selling for $39,500. A little bit different situation, but you know, I guess still some bargains here in the Cincinnati area. All right, so our highest priced property was also a little bit different. It was in New Richmond, and it was, I mean, for an estate, not so unusual. We see this kind of thing in Indian Hill all the time, but again, New Richmond, out off the river, east side, just really different area. It's a little further away from the city. But this estate was gorgeous. Carriage house with apartment and a garage that had space for 12 vehicles. This home was built in 1936, had 5 bedrooms and 3 full and 3 half baths. So again, kind of reminiscent of that time period. Didn't have as many full bathrooms built in. But this home, 11,700 square feet. It was listed at $2.25 million and sold in 52 days for $2,050,000. Our average sale this month was down 2%, down to $310,000, but we are still up 4% year over year. So since last March, days on market dropped from 28 to 23. Media days on market went from 8 to 4. We currently have 1,300 units available. And if you've never watched our market updates before, about 30% of that number is most likely new construction. Now, there may be some new construction that is ready for you to buy, but what we have seen in the past is that they have a lot of inventory that they put out there as what we call paper listings or ghost listings, and they're not really available, and you may find multiple different houses for one address. So obviously, those are to be built and they are not actually available. So that ends up dropping our actual inventory to even less than 1,300, and it puts us in a place where we have 2.5 to 3 weeks of inventory actually available for you to buy and close and move into within the next 30 days. Now, when I talk about days on market going from 8 to 4, does that make you kind of think of anything? Kind of like, was there a similar time when that happened? And then it went from 4 to like 2. Yes, we are in a deep seller's market right now. We are seeing offers that are much higher than the asking price, as long as they were priced well to begin with. We are seeing agents ask for that appraisal gap coverage. Some people are offering to purchase the house as is with no inspections or inspections for information only. But we are also seeing the people who are willing to maybe pay a little bit more. They can sometimes get their inspections. We have seen that happen a couple times in the last few weeks. So I always love that for my buyers. I think it's really important that they know what's going on in the house before they actually sign on the dotted line. But in this current situation that we find ourselves in, about 10,000 showings and maybe 1,300 houses available, which means a lot of houses are being shown by multiple people. We're getting calls for the same house for multiple clients. So we know that other people are showing it as well. If we're showing it to 3 clients, how many other people are going out and seeing it? So what that means is that we need more inventory. And we understand at this point that many sellers got locked into a really good rate in the last few years, and they may not want to lose that rate. But if you're someone who needs to upsize, downsize, like your just situation has changed and either you can't afford to stay where you are or the household is changing. I mean, things happen. So if you are in that boat, and as much as maybe you don't want to pay 6% interest, if it's the right time to move, then let's get it done. Realtor.com is stating that this 3rd week of April is supposedly going to be the peak of the selling season this spring. Now, I can tell you, I've got plenty of sellers who just haven't quite pulled it together yet. They have busy lives and it's hard to get contractors. And so we may not hit this week in April. And my guess is that Cincinnati, we're going to be pushed out maybe the following week or maybe even the beginning of May. That actually works really well for most of our sellers because school is ending, college is getting over with, and people are ready to make those moves then. But I feel like this week, especially with the weather being very cold, I'm curious to see how this all plays out. But my point is, it's spring selling season. It's a great time to sell. And it's a good time to sell any time of year. We just have to find that thing that really makes your house unique. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call. Tell us in the comments below why you're waiting, or maybe what is fueling your fire to get moved. And if you haven't already, check out this video to learn more about what you need to do to get your house ready for sale.